What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Talking Eagles, Seahawks with you, and we'll give you our locks of the week. Let's go.
What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by Royal Billiard, the premier game room store of the Delaware Valley. Stocked with the very best in pool tables, accessories, shuffleboards, card tables, dart supplies, bars, and bar stools. Turn any ordinary room into an extraordinary gaming experience. Oh, did we mention they have hot tubs, too? Stop by Royal Billiard, 515 Bethlehem Pike. Call them RPA or visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. Blake, Noah, Greg, Ryan, Ralphie, I'm Tom, everybody out there, welcome in. We'll do locks of the week. I can't even pull that up. That's right. We'll do locks of the week as we go through our NFL Week 15 slate of games, okay? We'll give you Eagles, Seahawks, preview and predictions, chance for you to win a lot of money. You know, nobody's hit because none of us hit. It's so hard. Nobody can predict this team as we're going right now. So nobody's hitting. So we'll raise that to 275. All right, 275 for Monday night. Okay, we're not only going to preview this game, we're going to dissect. We're going to get our hands dirty tonight and we're going to have a little who's worse and blah, 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 blah. But before we say any of that, okay, just want it to be known that both sides of the ball stink right now. Stink.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we debate, all right, and get into this heated poll question, which is brought to you by Carlino's Market. They're located at Ardmore, Westchester, PA. Go check out all their great food. I mean, all right, you won't be disappointed. And follow them on all social media platforms. Carlino's Market. Go check them out as well. Our poll for tonight's show, you are more concerned with the Eagles' defense than you are with the offense. Agree or disagree? And let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow, join the conversation. We love it when you join the conversation. It feels so good when you join the conversation with us. So please do. Okay. So it's debatable for a lot of different reasons. All right. That you are more concerned with the Eagles defense than you are with the Eagles offense. Do you agree or disagree? I disagree. All right. Because we're just sort of teased it coming in, not with you guys, but behind the scenes, that dude, last year we were beating people. We were beating people up in the first half. There was complaints all week long. Oh my God, we're not good in the fourth quarter. Tom, we're not good in the fourth quarter. The second half, we're not good enough. As we beat teams by 24, right? Like we just didn't. I didn't like what I saw in the third and fourth. What, dude? We were up 20 and a half. Like what are you worried about? Now, what comes with that? What comes with being up big in games is you allow an elite front four to go get somebody. Because now teams have to throw to get back in the football games. And it's not the only reason why you had historic sack numbers, right? It's not only that, but you had an elite front and you were deep up there. Okay? We were deep up there. So now you allow a defense that may have holes to make teams one-dimensional because your offense is that explosive. Right? Like your offense was that explosive last year. Right? Running the football, they were like number one between 1 and 4 in the whole year last year. Okay? That's how good they were. And that set up big plays down the field and everything else they want to do. Now this offense wants an RPO first down all day. And Jalen's numbers in those situations, again, don't have them in front of me. No notes. Are historically goddamn bad. So somebody go look them up and get them to me because I promise you they're horrendous. And probably the worst in football. That's just my eyes watching it all year. How many first down big completions have we had? Because we don't want to run the football at all. And you guys know me. You guys know me for years. I'm not Mr. You got to pound the football all day. You got to be balanced. Gee, goodness gracious. We started out pounding it down teams' throats last year. Did we forget this? This is how Jalen was in an MVP conversation because he was doing it too. Okay, so you have an offensive-minded head football coach, not a defensive-minded head football coach. So you're going to ask me what I'm more concerned of? I'm more concerned of T-shirts not having a good enough design and creativity within his offense that you need to be successful in the NFL in 2023. I'm not telling you got to be a dog and pony show and have 100 motions a game. But can we move guys around a little bit? Because at the end of the day, that helps your quarterback. When I know as a quarterback that I got man or zone, now my life got a little easier. Right? That's factual. Why teams do it. And to get guys in mismatches with linebackers, etc. Right? It's all about mismatches. So you're going to do Jonathan Gannon missionary, and you're just going to say, you guys stay here, don't move. Now teams can match you up and go. Come on. The defense is bad. Nobody's questioning that. But if they had a lead to play with, I bet you they would look better. I bet you they would look a lot better. Like any defense in the NFL. That's not an excuse. Ralphie talked about tackling's horrific, right? Their front four can't get, I don't think they put pressure on me. All right. And I'm not going to get the ball out because that
been bad this year.
So it's been bad. But how many big leads have they had? How many games have they been allowed? And they've been on the field a ton for two things. They can't get off the field, but the offense doesn't sustain drives.
Yeah.
All right. So you're even more concerned. Our quarterback turns it over at a horrific rate. Okay. Horrific this year. It's not good enough for a franchise quarterback. Okay. So I'm more concerned of the guy I paid $255 in that dog and pony show than I am of a goddamn defense that I know what I have. I know what I have. I'm not blind to the defense. The offense, I expect more from. This isn't even debatable. If anybody pick a defense, you're letting a franchise goddamn quarterback off the hook too. Because this hasn't been good enough all year. We talked about it. He's been resilient in the fourth, and he's had big comebacks, etc. But the overall body and sample size has not been consistent or good enough like it was last year. All right? So I hold my quarterbacks to a standard. Now, if you're winning, you can get away with a lot of shit. The second you start getting your ass beat and
back-to-back weeks,
you read the offense, keep the main thing. Well, the main thing is 6 points and a goddamn divisional rivalry game on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. And I think the one thing.
Yeah, and he's throwing off his back foot all day. Is my last part of the rant because this fires me up. He's throwing off his back foot all day. Or he's not stepping into throws. One of the passes, DeVonta, 5 minutes later, slant. Dude, and they're crowning Gilmore. If you throw that on time when he's crossing, he's going all night. So, AJ, same thing. 5 minutes later on a slant. I'm just going to be honest here. This is the worldwide leader, real talk. I love Jalen Hurts. I ain't letting freaking bad play off the hook. Absolutely not. You're the leader of this offense. You will get the engine going. All right, so you need to step up too. And run the football enough. Let people know you got a great offensive line. You're not going to use it? Because Jeffrey said so.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm sorry. That's a long rant. It's needed. It's needed because it's not even debatable for me when you got that much money on the other side of the football.
Yeah.
Ain't debatable.
I mean, you trade for the guy on draft night and give him a contract for $100 million for 4 years, right? And he's been outstanding in AJ Brown. But I need more. I'll go real quick. I disagree to the poll as well. I'm with Tommy. Listen, I understand the defense is really bad right now, but at times the defense can show you things that they're still the elite guys that you signed and that you drafted and stuff like that. And they get them stops when they need to when they need to be. And also somewhat, if you don't really want to, keep it honest as well, they somewhat keep the Eagles in the game still with that defense, right? It's just the offense right now kind of sucks ass. It's really bad right now. Okay. This like Tommy said, the high flying offense of last year, where at halftime you were up 24 points and you're feeling good about yourself and you could let the defense do whatever they want. But now you're going into halftime, you only scored 6 points. And the thing that really is starting to tick me off a little bit is that we talked all shit leading up to the 49ers game where it was, I'll let them talk. We'll see that the link. You get smacked in the mouth, right? And then Tuesday comes, A.J. Brown says, oh, don't worry about it, right? We're going to come out brand new. You go down to Dallas and you get smacked in the mouth again. So the talking on the offensive side of the ball is really not matching up to what's really going on down on the field. And Jalen, like you said, Tom, he's throwing on his back foot. I think he's throwing the ball about 30 times Sunday night off his back foot. It was abysmal. It was terrible. These past 2 weeks for Jalen have not been great. But the other thing too is those three fumbles killed all momentum. You were moving the ball all 3 times on those fumbles, and 3 of your superstars, right? 3 of your superstars fumbled the ball. 3 of them. All 3 of them fumbled the ball when we had momentum driving down the field, and it killed everything. So I agree. I think the concern right now is for the offense. I know the defense right now with their numbers and everything like that is horrendous. But this offense has to look into the mirror and see what they can do better. It's not looking pretty.
It's about the offense, right? Like on top of what both of you guys said, which I completely agree with. Like for me, and Ralph, you make a good point, and both of you guys do, with like how the defense has had its moments, right? Like it's tough. Like they'll look horrible, but then they'll have like 2 really back-to-back good drives, and then the offense doesn't do anything, right? It's very strange with this defense, but they kind of just are what they are, right? So it's like beyond concern, because at least for me, I'm not going to speak for the entire fan base, but like I have no expectations with that defense, right? Like there's nothing in like, what are we going to say? Like, oh, James Bradbury, learn how to cover, right? Darius Slay, stop tweeting, right? Like defensive line that was touted as, oh, this is going to be almost as good, if not better than last year's defensive line. Oh, actually get to the quarterback. And I get it.
Well, that's the only expectation, right? That's your only expectation as a fan.
Yes,
is the
because
front
how deep we were in the on the defensive line. On the defensive line, we were so deep, and it's like they can't get no pressure. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me.
And I see
that's not on the side though. That's not on the side.
No,
right?
it's not. It's not. It's
no, like, and I see a lot, and who knows? Maybe there's validity to it. Like, oh, Jalen Carter's hit the rookie wall. I don't know. Jordan Davis is out of shape. Who knows? Like, to me, like with the defense, I like, just for me, I don't care.
Jalen Carter was the only guy that found the fucking end zone. That's a problem.
Look how tired they are. There was no celebration.
Yeah.
That defense is exhausted, guys. That defense is worn out. I can't even blame them. They've been on the field for 2 months.
When your offense is going 3 and out, 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 and then turning the ball over right at midfield, it's like, dude, what? Like, we can't even get a break for 45 seconds, man. Like we can't even rest.
As the entire season, like, is it concerning that we have to look back on the season as a whole so far, and it's like, oh, we let Mac Jones look like prime Tom Brady. Now Mac Jones is like barely even on the Patriots sideline, right? Like we see what Sam Howell is. Lord knows what, Geno Smith / Drew Lock is going to do, potentially, right? But it's about the offense. This offense has scored over 30 points once since the end of October. And the only time was in an overtime game against the Bills in which we looked dead for half the game. Now, credit to them.
We looked
that
in
that game and the Chiefs game, we recovered, right? But we talked about this before this last 2-game slide, to where whether we were mildly concerned, no concern, very concerned, we were playing with fire to be completely incompetent for half of the game, if not 3/4, and then talent will prevail, because that's not going to work against the 2 best teams, along with the Eagles. Even though I would say they're both better currently than the Eagles. In the NFC, Cowboys and Niners, it's not going to work, especially against Dallas in Dallas, where they were coming into the game winning 14 straight at home, right? It's not going to work. So granted, like
at home off of a bye.
yeah, which awesome. We could talk about that, to where like every team we face in the last 2 months, I feel like is coming off of a bye or 10 days rest, right? Like it's crazy to me. But like I look at the offense and I'm like, well, if I'm looking at a side of the ball that is quote unquote easier to fix, I would think it's the offense, because talent should prevail. But also incompetence is completely overriding that. Like, and we go back to what we talked about before the season, right? When we were talking about concerns, and granted, the concerns were mild at best because we all had high expectations, justifiably so. But I remember a conversation we had on this show, one of the last shows before the season, and we were talking about the uncertainty, aside from Jalen Hurts after the contract and everything, about what this offense would look like now that Nick Sirianni has way more control of it, because we know Shane Steichen had it, right?
Well, real quick. Yeah. The end of the conversation is the quarterback don't get the ball out of their hands quick. So
it's off time.
We'll talk about design and all that and the creativity. That's all factual. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, he's holding on to the football way too long. He's not comfortable in what he's seeing. He's not 2-step, 3-step dropping ball out. How much do you see that? So that hurts your offense. You cannot sit back there and just hold. And the other thing he never does, and when he does do it, he gets big plays, is he never steps up in the pocket. Like, step up in the pocket. The offensive linemen are trained to give you that barrier, that bubble to go up into the pocket to make big throws down the field. So he's hurting the offense more than even the play calling is, because he's not getting the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, what I'm also go ahead, Rye.
I was just saying real quick. I bring that up in the sense of, like, is this a Brian Dable leaving Buffalo situation with Josh Allen, where we saw how good he was with Dable, and Allen's very good, right? Like, it's crazy how, like, weird that team is, right? He's still very good, but you see the mistakes, you see the mental mistakes, you see the turnovers, right?
True,
like, is this
true? Maybe, right? Maybe it's because of Shane. But I think I'm not putting you fumbling a football on the turf on Shane, right? I'm not like, if you need Shane Steichen to get the ball out of your hands, then Houston, we got a $255 million problem. Yeah. So I don't give a shit if any of us freaking six we're the freaking offensive coordinators. You're supposed to be elite now. You're elite, so go be elite.
And the last thing I'll say really quick, like, when we talk about, like, what the coordinators do and what the coaches do, you could see just by watching the game without having any insight, quote unquote, that Jalen Hurts, and listen, we weren't complaining about it during, like, the 6-7 weeks where AJ Brown broke the record, right, of 125 plus yards a game. But you can see it's like that meme of, like, oh, AJ Brown's down there somewhere. It's like, I get his nickname is always open, and this is why, like, with this leak thing, like this quote, I don't think it's AJ. I know a lot of people think it's AJ. I don't think it is. Because if talking about predictability, that's literally what the offense is, oh, A.J. Brown, we're just going to find him, and we're not going to scan the field. We're not going to scan the field at DeVonta Smith's wide open standing there. And listen, I'm not going to hate on him for not passing it to Quez Watkins. I get it, right? I get it. but come on, right? Like, it's predictable, vanilla, stale, all the words. And with all his talent, it should be the exact opposite of that. So it's about the offense.
Yeah, and again, right? Like, again, when you talk about all the talent, we all do. Like, I love putting shit on coaches, and I'm not telling anybody that coaches don't have a lot to blame for this, right? This is an offensive-minded head coach. My offense should be elite. Shane could walk out. 5 more offensive guys could walk out the goddamn building. As long as Nick's here, as long as Nick's goddamn here, this offense better be elite with these kind of players. Or I got the wrong guy. Or, right? I might have the 2 wrong guys. So I'm not trying to hit that kind of panic button. What a panic button I'm hitting is he is not seeing the field. He is not throwing guys open. This isn't a league where you can just run around. You have to get rid of the football. There's so much talent out there. You can't tell me that we score 6 points in a goddamn football game against the Dallas defense that has got shredded by Geno Smith.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Come on, guys. All because he got the ball out of his hands. You're playing Dallas. You're going to hold on to the football? Like, come on. And this is 2 weeks in a row. And he's been doing it a lot all year. He hasn't looked the same with certain things. So he's regressed a little bit this year. Doesn't mean he's always going to regress. Doesn't mean he can't. He's flipped switches at times. We've seen it, right, guys? Yep. We've seen him, to be fair. He's flipped it at times. It's been a bad 2 weeks for him. So I've got your next one up, though, too, which we'll get into later, right? But, like, it's 2 weeks. I'm not going to, like, ruin the guy when he played great for the 3 big games before that. I'm just going to say what I've watched over the last 2 weeks is not good quarterback play. And with A.J. Brown, who's 6'20", right, and is a monster, like, on a crossing pattern, get the ball out.
Do you guys think we would be saying that? And again, not to play the what if game, like, we're not going to talk about the fumble, but if DeVonta and AJ catch those two, the one touchdown, the other one AJ could have, he would have been at the goal line and would have been the tush push, and the DeVonta Smith, drop. If they catch those, which knowing them, they do every other week, are we still talking about this, right? Because it's a much closer game. I think it's like,
he's got a, that's not a great, both. I mean, the one that AJ's probably a better ball than the one of DeVonta. I almost think the one of DeVonta is almost not catchable. It hit a piece of his hand, but that was such a tough play. But that's okay. It was there. Your game of inches, right? AJ, he probably steps out anyway if he catches it. Look like so again, inch, right? It's just you're right though. But they go back and watch it all, and that offense knows they're leaving plays on the field. They know it. They know. That's why they're annoyed, because they go back and watch tape and say, he's open. What are you looking at? And it's on all of them, right? So, I mean, who knows? You don't fumble 3 times. If Jalen doesn't fumble going in to tie it up, maybe it's a different game. But it all starts with your leader, guys. Like, he goes down the field.
Two of those are red zone. Fumbles through, right? Jalen's driving. We're in the red zone with Jalen. Devontae's was, 10, 15-yard line?
Yeah.
Right,
and then
just
you also had
unopportune times.
Then you also had the 2 pass interference calls on with Dallas, the 2 Dallas Goddard plays that put you in the red zone that kicked you back out. So a lot of miscues.
I'll keep the disagree train rolling and go with the offense. And I'll be real quick, because you guys have summed up a lot of, if not all of the offensive issues. The defense has given up 11 points or less 7 times in the second halves. So 11 points or less 7 times, and 14 points or less 9 times in the second half of football games, right? So while we might watch and say, hey, we're getting torched, we're getting ran all over, they're not bending in the second half, right? There's adjustments being made and stuff's happening in that second halves of games that are like I said, are adjustments being made to where we're not giving up a lot of points. So at that point, the defense is doing their job, and the offense still isn't.
Yeah, James, it's a combo, brother. It's not like just one thing. Right? I'm not just putting everything on Jalen. It's a combo. You're right. It's a combo, but you put a little bit more always on players. And Martese did have 2 big games. So how can we miss you? And he has 31 touchdowns. That's factual. He also has a ton of turnovers. So I mean, like, I'm not telling you he's been terrible. I'm just telling you he hasn't played as good as he did last year. Why can't we say that? Like, that's the facts. You want to listen to me blow him? You want to listen to me? You don't want to hear that, obviously. So what do you want to hear? You want to hear real, or you want to hear like, well, excuses? No, you go play, bro. Ain't nobody throwing the ball for you. Ain't nobody reading the defense for you. I'm tired of we're going to just put it on other grown men. Like, yeah, it's part of it's on Nick and his shit offense, it looks like, and Brian Johnson and not running the football. But come on, go ahead, Noah. Do the poll. We could talk about Jalen all night. Positive, negative.
Yeah, I'll be honest. What I saw on Sunday night was it was a complete train wreck. To go down there in a divisional game, in a game you must have, to only score 6 offensive points, like I reiterated a few minutes ago. Jalen Carter was the only guy to find the fucking end zone. The last time I checked, he's a defensive tackle. So yes, my concern by far is with the offense. But by the way, yeah, the defense looks like a dumpster fire too. And I'm what can I say? We're not on the defensive side of the ball. We're not tackling. We're not covering. Well, guess what? I knew we didn't have linebackers that are worth a shit. And let's see, you got fucking Darius Slay, who can't shut the fuck up, can't stay off of Twitter, can't cover you or me right now, and he's aging before our eyes. All right? I mean, we knew the secondary and we knew the linebackers were a problem. And I will say, obviously, our defensive line has been underwhelming the last 2 weeks, but overall has been okay this year. Obviously not as good as last year. But damn it, like you were saying, Tommy, $255 million.
Spoke to math.
Well, all I saw was a fumble, no touchdowns, and I once in a while you got to wear the Superman cape. Now I know he did against Buffalo and bailed us out. All right, and all in all, he's had an okay year, but for $255 million, okay is not good enough. And that's the bottom line.
No, you pay it, right, guys? You pay it to mask some issues. Yep. I mean, goodness gracious, this is the first time watching football. Like you pay it to mask some problems, and on offense, you don't have it. I mean, you don't have any holes. I mean, so what are you masking? You don't even need to mask anything yet. You got two great wide receivers. You got a great tight end. You have a great offensive line that you never use to run it. So that's where it falls on the game plan and the coaches, right? What I just reiterated. It's not all on Jalen. They don't run the football enough to help your quarterback. That's for any quarterback. No quarterback should be dropping back at the rate he does sometimes, right? Like nobody should. You got to put it in the belly once in a while, like early on. You got to make the secondary come up. I'll leave you with that. You got to force guys up to the line of scrimmage in this league. You can't just let guys play two safeties over top and then take away you wanting to go deep all the time. Who you gonna go deep all the time? You're gonna go deep all the time? Are we morons? That's where I blame Nick and Brian.
The way I look at it, what really disappoints me the most, like I know our defense is a dumpster fire. All right, to be honest, I would really be surprised if Sean Desai is even here next year. But that being said, on the offensive side of the ball, knowing how much our defense has struggled, knowing that they can't get off the field on third down, this, that, and the other. Hey, on offense, you got to be able to sustain drives. You got to be able to convert some third downs. How about a running game? Run the damn ball. Now, I get it. It's not a 50-50 league anymore. All right, I know this isn't 1992. I get all that. And you got to score points in this league. But we were so successful by and large the first half of the season running the football. What the hell happened to that? And what the hell happened to this offensive line? For the most part, they look okay. But yeah, let them. Our offensive line is at its best when they're able to go eat. When they are able to shove that defensive line, the opposing defensive line, off the damn line of scrimmage and feeding the ball to Swift, Gainwell, you name it, and just run it right down their damn throat. And sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you're gonna have games where, for whatever reason, we're just not connecting through the air, where you need to be able to hand that ball off and just go get it, shove it down their throat, and keep the chains moving. And and as far as Jalen goes, yes, he was second guessing himself all night last night, and it was the same deal against San Francisco last week. He's holding on to the ball. I know you reiterated a lot of this.
No, I was laughing. He said last night. Must have missed it. He must have held on to the ball too long last night.
He watched the replay. NFL Network. You know what I mean?
Oh no! I walked into work Monday morning on an hour of sleep. All right, it wasn't pretty.
I got
right, so you disagree.
No sleep.
Oh, okay. So it's tough.
Yeah, my concern is with the offense. They're both dumpster fires right now. What do you want? We gave up 33 fucking points, and we scored 6 offensive points. And our star defensive tackle was the only guy that found the fucking end zone. Other than that, we were fucking great.
Matt Berg nailed it on the head, right? Run the ball. It's December. This is the time where you start running the football, right? It's the time where you start, getting after guys, right? And putting your mark on football games early, right? This is when you do it. It's been talked about for years. You throw early to run late, right? You see it all the time with teams. You keep your backs fresh for later, and then all of a sudden you start pounding. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. But I also know sometimes the great DeAndre Swift runs a little soft too. He got a little soft and pepper in him. All right? Like Miles a little bit sometimes. He does sometimes. Sunday, I'm like, did he go down right there? Like, I don't even know if he took a hit. I just saw there was like a little pile up. I feel like he just took a knee down. Okay. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I do know you got guys that will run hard, and Kenny. We do know Kenny will run hard. So if it's you don't trust your backs, then you have a sharp penny. So maybe activate them or use them when you have, I don't know. I'm not
The
begging
very
for
first
Rashard
signing
Penny.
of free agency was Rashard Penny. He hasn't even played a lick of
It's the
football.
Yeah.
weirdest thing of all time. If they saw him
Crazy.
in camp and in practice and they're like, oh, his legs are dead, then cut him.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Get him out. But they value him enough to like have him and protect him from the practice.
Maybe they gave him a promise, like no matter what, we're not going to cut you. You know what I mean?
I don't
I
know.
just
Maybe
think they're
Here
so
for a
they
year.
live in
antsy.
Philly. I don't get it. Like I don't.
They're so
I don't understand.
antsy offensively. They're so antsy. They're like trying to get it all back in one play. Like all their lack of all their their lack of success at times offensively. They're trying to just let me get that explosive 56-yard play and we get it all back, right? And that's what they're shooting for all the time. But they need to get back to what this offensive line does great. So you can't, nobody out there in the chat can say, well, the offensive line isn't as good as last year. Well, they don't do the same. They're not running the same style of offense per se in terms of running the football. So how can you blame anything on the offensive line? Like,
but when they do run the same plays as last year, it's explosive. You're like, oh my God, where's this been all game long?
The Vikings, it's like the Vikings game is the perfect example of that. The offense was stale as hell. Just luckily enough in the first half, the Vikings were turning it over every 5 seconds, so we got really good field position. But we couldn't move the football at all, and we were still in the stage of. I mean, maybe we're envious of it now, looking back on how bad this offense is now. But it was like every fourth play, it was like 3rd and 18, and it was a Jalen Hurts called quarterback draw. Right? It's like okay. Then in like the end of the second quarter, they start running it with Swift, and Swift got off to a slow start because, to your point, Tom. It's like, if one of the running backs doesn't in one of their first runs doesn't break out for a 65+ yard run,
they don't give him
never. Then he's done. Then just hit the showers. You're done. You just don't.
We're never. You're just back there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're just back there. You get the fake handoff.
Yeah, exactly. You're a decoy, right? You're just going to be there. You're going to be a Christmas ornament, basically.
The joke.
That was the game where he got off slow and they kept going to him. You look back at the game; he single-handedly won that football game for us. And the turnovers for the Vikings, which we appreciate.
Yeah. Of course.
But you understand why? Like, can we see it to where there was a clear shift? Oh, we're going to open our eyes because we all know whether it's because they got to a Super Bowl last year or that's just how coaches are in all sports, right? Like we see it with Rob Thompson at times, like the stubbornness, the incompetency, to where it's like, it's my way or the highway. It's like no,
because they'll go back
down. It's not.
It's the problem. They'll go back to tape. And they'll see plays left on the field, and it won't change their brain, right? That's the problem. So, like, if they went back and watched tape, and everything was, nothing's open, right? And you don't have anything that you can go back and say, well, we had that. If this guy does this, if we execute here, right? You hear all about it, right? If we execute, we have plays. So at the end of the day, now their stubbornness gets even more in the way, where it's like, well, we can do this. We got, it's Jalen. It's what Jalen. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm expecting no change this week because, to your point, this week, we don't need to change anything. We had turnovers. If we didn't have the turnovers, the offense was great. It was A+. It's like, no, the turnovers were bad, but the offense still stinks. Change, please. But they
100%.
Blake, go ahead.
Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, let's get Blake and we'll keep talking.
All right, yeah, like I said, I'm with you guys too. I'm going to disagree to the poll as well, and I'm going to start with Nick Sirianni. I'm really getting sick and tired of this every week where he's like, all right, we got to start out fast. I got to have the guys ready. Well, now you said this now like 2 weeks in a row, and it's like it's a rerun from the first time you said it. So what I don't understand is, okay, and maybe I'm old school. I don't know. Like, and you guys pretty much have already covered this.
Covered again, doesn't matter.
Yeah, you pretty much everything said what I was going to say earlier. But I'm all about you start off, you line up behind center, behind that offensive line, and you hand it off, and you run the football to set up for the pass. I'm sick and tired of this. Like, all right, let's start out 1st and 10, empty backfield, and let's just shotgun. No.
Yeah.
Line up behind center. You hand it off to Swift, and if they can't stop it, you keep running it until they do find a way to stop it, and then you pass. And I just don't understand this like philosophy where what happened last year and the year before that when I think it started with that Detroit game back in 2021 when they finally figured out, let's start running the football. And it seems like we've just gotten away from that. Like you have a potential 1,000-yard, maybe close to 2,000-yard potential rusher in DeAndre Swift, but you don't utilize them the way you should. And it's very frustrating to watch. And I also thought A.J. Brown probably played his worst game I've ever seen him as an Eagle Sunday night. It was, like the one fumble, I was just like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah,
like,
he said,
you got hold of that ball.
Well, we saw
it.
Yeah, no, the 3 red zone turnovers. You're right there, Blake. That killed us. It really did.
Dude, you can't
And
turn the football over against that team.
Yeah,
You can't
that
turn the
was
football
from
when
3
that
guys.
offense
That-
is that good.
Superstars fumble the ball.
Dude, that
Superstars fumble
offense,
the ball.
that
And like-
offense on
Exactly.
the other side. Hold on, real quick. That offense
Right.
on the other side's elite in Dallas. I don't care what anybody's got to say. Okay, he's playing at an elite level. We talked about it before the game that Jalen had to outplay him. Right? You had to outplay Dak because you know Dak is going to carve. He's been carving all year. Give him credit. Right? I'm going to give credit where credit's due. He's been really good. So you know they're going to
MVP.
Yeah, you know they're going to score. So you got to pray for a turnover your end and not turn the football over. To your guy's point, right? To Blake, no, we're going to talk about. So if you go and don't turn the football over like we're talking about, and they do once for a touchdown, well, I got news for you guys. You might win that football game. So that's the difference. You can't do that. You can't do it anywhere on the field. But you sure as hell can't have drive killers. And now Devontae's the only one I'll give a pass on because he did cover up. It was just a great punch out of the football, right? So I'm not going to pass a fumble, but the other two, I mean, cover it up, man. And if you get stripped covering it up, like I said with Devontae, I can't say anything, right? Because you had the proper technique. But when you know the proper technique, when you're getting hit and you fumble, I can't have it. We got a couple super chats I want to read off here. One from Kyle Cap and 2 from Mr. Rudy Pill. Kyle says, if we lose given up 33 plus points, what do we have to lose by firing Desai at this point? Not winning a Super Bowl with this defense. Same with the offensive coordinator as well. Kyle, I love you, bro. Right? And I really appreciate the super chat. And I understand what you're getting at. Like there's nothing to lose. There's a ton to lose. I mean, you could go from being bad to horrific. Like, you know what I mean? You got a new scheme or something. Like that's a lot right now in the season. You got to hope it gets cleaned up and you'll evaluate when the season ends. And at the end of the day, we're still 10-3.
And even if we don't score another touchdown, against Seattle, say we lose by 30, whether it's justified or not, they're not going to do that. They're not. I mean, right?
What, you say lose by 30 against Seattle?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I might not have guys get back on the plane then, but they will. They will. Me, I'm saying, bro, Sean, it's a beautiful place to live. The Pacific
You want to come
Northwest.
back? You want to come back?
Yeah.
Go enjoy yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of things that we can will be like, hey, fire this person, but they're just not going to. You know what I mean? They're loyal to a fault.
I was fired Gannon after the year, right? Like Gannon can go after the year. I'm not gonna fire him when we're rolling. I'll see you later. Well, somebody hired him. Same thing with Sean, but Sean's playing with less, so it's hard to fire Sean. Like you're gonna put that all on Sean because your front four can't get home ever. You couldn't put it on Sean because your middle linebackers have been not good enough. Are you gonna put it on Sean that you've got a mixed match safety position for the whole year up until the last 3 or 4 weeks? You're gonna put that all on Sean? Come on. I love crushing guys. I'm a big fan of smoking dudes, but I can't go around smoking them. Like when he blitzes, he gets burnt. So I don't know what. I don't know what else we want Sean to do. What are you gonna disguise? Dak's been tremendous against everybody besides the one Niners game. He's been really good, guys. And if you don't capitalize, I kept saying to my dad, they're going to go score again. This is easy. It is easy.
Well, the problem is
we have all these straight
two...
drives or something crazy, right?
No, it was
straight drives against the
10
Niners.
or 11.
Yeah.
Well, it was 9 out of 10 or 10 straight drives. Teams scored points against us. 9 more touchdowns. That's not good. But I also feel like they were once you're on the field a bunch 1 week, that next week even gets harder. And they were on the field so much. That extra day for us and its defense is gigantic. It might be the biggest thing ever. And if we can somehow, before I answer Mr. Rudy Poo super chats, if somehow we can still manage to steal that 1 seed, it's so important for this defense. It's so important for this front four and those guys that have that week, right? It's so important to get healthy. Not healthy, but just the bruises, the little things, right? The legs is being tired. That's what's important, So we'll get into that. But Mr. Rudy Poo, $5 super chat. We appreciate you, brother. He says, answer is Jalen Hurts has regressed from last year. Ball security, truth. Throw in anticipation, truth. Greedy with the deep ball, truth. Too many QB draws, truth. So it's hard to disagree with you, Mr. Rude.
Whoever they want to, people want to blame. Again, I don't care at this point. It's just bad overall. Like everyone's on the table. He's the way to describe how he's playing this year in large sample sizes is recklessly conservative, which makes no sense as is a back-to-back word phrase. But he's not doing like what he was great at the last couple years, right? And whether it's the injury, like again, who cares? Fix it if you can. But then you have the
why don't you
recklessness.
run the football? Right.
What was that?
Then it's like if you have an injury to your quarterback, why don't we
then
run the
help
football
him
more? Yes,
help him.
As much as he's regressed,
Like
Mr. Rude, as much as he's regressed in certain things, Mr. Rudy Poo, I think a big part of it is like they don't run it enough to sustain drives, right? Like they don't have that consistency of like I want to say like a 10-play drive and you threw it 6 and ran a 4, right? Like they don't have that. They've had it at times, but they don't have the consistency of those drives. It's pass on first down, incomplete, or pressured, throw it away, second down, run, maybe gain 2 or 3 yards, and then you try to throw, and then you're third and long.
It's like we have the
It's
Chargers.
never third and manageable. Never.
No,
This team.
no.
It's 2 weeks. It's
We
never
have
been like that.
We have become the Chargers offense. How many times did if we watch a Chargers game, it's like everything looks hard. Justin Herbert, it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 7, every single time. But the only difference is they have like one of the worst head coaches, in the league. And it's a defensive minded head coach, an organization. This is a team that's supposed to be offensive minded. And we look just as bad as them.
Yeah, it's pretty
We
bad.
look worse. And he says, Mr. Rude, go ahead, Jake. Greg. Go ahead.
Go get the super chat.
He says, another super chat. We thank you again. He says, playbook, inside zone, deep crosses, all streaks, QB draw. Did I miss anything? Are we matting computer on rookie mode? Yeah, I mean, dude, brother, I can't say it enough. Like, it's nothing like you don't see enough slants, quick slants. You don't see enough like screens. And the biggest thing is it's like every first down, like, we're going to trick you. We're going to trick you. You think we're going to run it. Like, dude, everybody knows you're not running it now, loser. All right? Put it in a goddamn belly. This doesn't, like, everybody can know it's coming. Last year, teams knew we were running the football, and they couldn't do anything to stop it. And they would load the box up, which would create big-time problems for the deep ball. That's the disconnect here, people. Yeah. Like, for any clear quarterback and wide receiver in NFL goddamn history, outside of maybe like Culpepper throwing it up to Moss, all right? At the end of the day, you had to fear the run enough. You have to fear it defensively. And from going from being an elite run team last year to whatever the fuck they are this year is inexcusable. I don't know what they are this year, but my eyes tell me it isn't good enough, and it isn't last year.
Too good. It's not too good.
Yeah. So I caught this thread on X today. The thread was discussing Justin Fields in Chicago, whether you trade him or whether you extend him, right? And I just wanted to give that back, that context for this response from Greg Olson. And at the end, he goes, once a QB gets paid, he better be able to cover up holes. Tommy, so going back again to what you've said a lot, right? Once a QB gets paid, he better be able to cover up holes. Most can't, the elite can.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that context of like, if you're Chicago right now, right, in that thread was, do you trade the top 5 pick for 3 other picks and then re-sign Justin Fields, or do you take a chance with a Drake May or a Caleb Williams, right, or one of these quarterbacks coming out because the savings you take, right, on the contract? And it's
there's a lot of factors, but he's not going to cover holes.
That's what we're dealing with though right here, right now, this season.
Well, you're seeing it around the league. You're seeing it around the league. As around the league, at the end of the all around the league. I mean, you're talking about your 2 NFC and AFC players a week are downright atrocious. So, I mean, like around the league, QB play
better numbers than DeVito.
Come on, baby. Like around the league, around the guy, any play. Come on, you're right. This is a joke. and around the league, look at quarterback play. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
it's
good enough.
horrendous.
It's not good enough. Who's been great this year? Besides that, who's been great?
Not many. Josh Allen looks like
I mean,
shit.
Purdy,
Mahomes
Purdy
he had
and
his-
Dak.
right? Yeah, Purdy, Dak,
Stroud up until this week.
Stroud up until he lost Tank Dell. And
Yeah,
then he got
But like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. We're struggling. That's the point. We're 3 or 4, right? There's
Yeah,
5 maybe, but outside of that, it's been up, down, up, downs, up, downs. Freaking, Josh Dobbs, Joe Flacco. I mean, think about the guy. I mean, Flacco was right when he told me. Like this summer, I said, "Dude, you gonna play anymore?" And he goes, "I feel like I'm better than half the starting quarterbacks." And I said, "I think you are too." Look, I mean, if I look around, I don't care how old you are. You're gigantic, and you have a zippity doodah. So, and you're a veteran, and
That's Cam
anything
Newton.
that signs you, as long as you don't turn the football over, you keep teams in games. So
That's the
pretty
Cam
bad
Newton
that-
conversation this week, right? That's
Yeah.
where he's popping back up because he's saying the same thing, right?
oh, he probably is too, and he's not good.
Yeah. Right.
He's not good. But now his body probably feels better.
I'm sure
Right.
it does,
In terms of body wise, he probably feels like he can play again. That's what happens to these guys,
Especially him.
On top of all the concerns, right? When you just talk about Jalen, and again, like not to harp on it, but again, it is kind of in a pretty important position. What's horrifying and why, like, there's a lot of things that you can mirror to 2021. It's like, oh God, what the hell? Like, what the hell is this? You look at the chart just the last 2 weeks of like all of the completed passes. There's nothing in the middle of the field. Nothing.
So you can't
That's
say
exactly what was happening in 2021. Exactly. He couldn't complete anything in the middle of the field,
it. It's like he
which is
can't see.
crazy to me. He
He
wouldn't
can't
even
see over
look
the
at it.
line. It's
What
like
was
you
that?
can't see over the line.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like I'm not taking a shot. It's like, look at Kyler, right? Look around the league, look at Bryce Young, what they try to do to him, right? Those smaller guys, how they try to have throws that are easier visibly. But I mean, with the guy with the doggies you have, and you ain't using 5-yard slants, 8-yard slants, etc., crosses. I don't know. And John, it is a hard poll until you really dive into it like we did tonight. And then it gets pretty easy. Right. Then it's pretty like, all right, didn't see that coming.
I wanted to make a point too. I don't know how you guys felt about this too. I thought with Dallas Goedert being back this past Sunday, I really thought that was going to open up the offense a little bit. All right, we got Goddard back. Now we can spread around a little bit. And he looked like he was a non-factor too. I mean, still, great on the blocking end, but just nothing on the offensive end. So
It could be Russ with him, right? Like maybe. I mean, I don't know. He came back sort of quick, I feel like.
I think he's just out there to be a decoy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if he caught something, like, great, right? But and listen, if he would have shown up on Sunday and he would have had, 97 yards and 2 touchdowns, I'd be like, oh, this is exactly what I would have expected. But really, it was. I really didn't have expectations for it because, again, especially after the San Fran game, and again, like we talked about predictability. If AJ Brown isn't having a monster game, then it's like, okay, what else? And that's not a shot at DeVonta, right? But it's just kind of like, okay, the culture of this offense is basically like, okay, AJ, we're gonna feed you until you have over 125 yards, and we should be good.
Yeah,
it's like that doesn't always work.
Yeah, and it's funny when you mentioned DeVonta because I feel like he was the only receiver that honestly really showed up on Sunday. Everybody else was kind of like a non-factor. I mean, Quez has just been a non-factor all year, but I know he's been hurt. But I don't know what you're going to get out of him at this point in the season.
The non-factor is the routes.
Well, that too, yeah.
Non-factor. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
No, one of Devontae's best plays was a play where Jalen stepped up in the pocket.
Yeah,
that was the best play he's had in weeks. I'm like, thank you.
Over the middle of the field.
Yes.
Going back to combining a whole bunch of it. I think that's where we miss Dallas and stuff like that too, is that middle of the field.
He has like a panic sometimes with it. Like it's like
what I've started to notice
doesn't
these
trust
last 2 weeks. Oh, my bad.
No. Rob, I'm just saying he doesn't trust he didn't trust what he sees to step up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't trust the line. He always feels like he has to bail. Right. Which I get, man, and big guys coming. But but at the end of the day, 255, you gotta step up and take it, man. What are you gonna say, Ralph?
No, I was gonna say over these last 2 weeks, it's starting to worry me a little bit because I've noticed that he's starting to go back to the young Jalen Hurts, where if his first read's not there, I gotta go. I'm bailing out, and I'm going either left and I'm going right. And if he goes left, he's not throwing the ball. He's not throwing the ball to anybody if he goes left. So, and if I'm a defense, I know that if I push Jalen to the left, he ain't completing shit. He's just gonna throw it out. But I've noticed these past 2 weeks to where if his first read is not there, he's bailing out 100%.
You're right. You're right. And he also we'll talk about this on the other side. We'll preview Seattle Eagles coming up Monday Night Football. We'll get into our predictions, offense, defensive players of the game. Chance for you guys to win $275. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever you use. Got a nail score. Offense, defensive players become your tiebreaker if necessary. And there's a lot of issues, guys. There's a lot of issues that can get fixed. Hey,
Tom.
Hey.
Does it bother you that the only creative pass play I saw on Sunday night
T-shirt
was completed by our punter on the fourth down fake?
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Would have liked that to go out.
Would
like Zacchaeus to break a tackle. Right, would have loved a little shimmy on a wide receiver.
Yeah, just saying that was about the only creativity I saw.
Braden Mann to Zacchaeus greater than Mahomes to Tyreek Hill.
Feels like if he would have broke the tackle and went house.
That's Sirianni's next T-shirt.
What is with our other receivers? Again, I feel like we're in 2021. If our third string receivers, we used to deal with Rager. You're in the open field and you decide to run right at the defender. No, run around them.
Yeah, run around.
You're too small to break a tackle.
Yeah, and the Quez stuff and all the other receivers are not getting certain guys involved. It all becomes what Ralphie just said of one read go. So that hurts getting other guys involved, right? If you're going option 2 or 3 in a concept, now you're going to get different guys involved naturally, and there's going to get targets. Maybe not get catches, right? But the targets will go there. Right, guys? But when you're not trusting to go through that, this is where we're at right now. And hopefully it improves. Hopefully Monday night. I mean, this isn't a good defense. So if I don't put up 30 Monday, and win, well, we're going to talk about it. We haven't won in Seattle in 15 years or something. So, or whatever it's been, a long goddamn time, which is just so weird. So we'll talk about it. We'll preview on the other side. It's A2D Wednesday nights on A2D Radio, and we are brought to you by Royal Billiards, premier game room store to Delaware Valley. Go check them out, 515 Bethel and Pike, Colmar, PA, or visit on the web, royalbilliard.com.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Welcome back, everybody. A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Mr. Rudy Poo, see you chat another one. Another super chat. Let's get to it right off the bat. It bothers me What bothers me is how this team came out flat after getting whooped by your biggest rival. This fellas is a culture issue. Like I said, Tom, 2022 Vikings. Yeah, I have a problem with it too. I have a major problem with it, right? But I'm also not gonna say that yet because I still got more football to play. If that's how the season ended, then yeah, that's not ideal, right? But I needed to see a response last week. I didn't, but I'm not gonna. You're 10-3, so I'm gonna give you another week now. Now, if you come out and play flat this week, listen, then it's gonna get ugly, right? Then it's gonna get ugly. The more you do it, the more ugly it gets. If you don't win a football game and you lose 3 in a row at this time of the season, then some concerns start happening, even more concerns than we already have. So,
Everybody, real quick, rapid fire. Who you think the leak was? By the way, who you think the player was that talked?
What was
to
your
D-Gun?
question?
Who do you think the player was that leaked the D-Gun report? Right? Who started saying that it was a predictable offense, all that sort of stuff. Who do you think the player was that he sourced?
Oh, I have no idea.
Are we talking
AJ
offensive or
Brown?
You think it was AJ?
AJ.
I think it was Quiz.
I'm stumped on this. I don't have an answer.
DeVonta.
You think it was DeVonta? Really?
Yeah, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I mean, we got to understand this is sports. This is emotion. You're trying to play your ass off. So if you feel like things aren't being done properly, right? You tend to vent after ass whoopings, right? You tend to vent. So that's what wide receivers. Yeah, I mean that's what wide receivers do, and they're watching the other team go about it too. I don't know. I don't know who leaked it. I just know it's true.
Whoever said it, I'm happy. Like somebody said it in the chat. Trexler said it. Said, I'm glad whoever said it. Yeah, no disagreements. Whoever said it.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been an offensive lineman. It could have been. I would tend to lean more to the receiver group. I don't think it's AJ.
Just because he was catered to him.
Because he would just say it out loud. He would just say it on a mic.
Kelsey, I think Kelsey would say it on the podcast.
Maybe, but then the only problem with that is he would be taking a major shot at a coach, right? Yeah. Just doesn't seem like Jason's style.
No.
Right? Right. So Jason, Lane, those guys doesn't seem like their style. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I could. Who knows?
Maybe we'll go back to scoring points as becoming our style.
Shit, he just got cut. Maybe it was Derek Barnett. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, he might be the only guy I have a problem with saying it. Then.
Yeah. Or our favorite, Jalen Reagor. Could have been him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was
the offense wasn't catered to him the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Maybe Swift. He has a right to be upset. I don't think he would have. I mean, listen, he probably has nothing to say about it because I don't think he has any input on the offense, clearly. So,
yeah, it's evident when they don't run him. So you can see he doesn't have any input whatsoever. So
Boston Scott.
Yeah,
maybe Boston Scott.
He's upset that he didn't get the David Carr treatment.
It could have been Mariota.
Oh my gosh.
that guy's something else.
David Carr might be the only guy in the world that is pushing for Mariota to start.
I think he's got to be Bayless Jr. right now.
While we're on that subject, I want to get your guys' opinion on that. So, what did you guys think of David Carr on the NFL Network making that stupid, ridiculous comment?
He's an idiot.
It's all for clicks.
Yeah,
all for clicks.
Well,
like,
which
He's a dope. What the fuck has that guy done in the NFL?
Which part? Which part?
David.
The Mariota should start the dumbest comment of all time.
Yeah, that's the comment we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like the things sort of like Bosa said, the things David Carr said. It wasn't just Mariota should start, right? There was more to like context, even though the end of the context is moronic, right? But he did say stuff like not going through reads, not stepping up in the pocket, not trusting. I mean, this is a common theme. Looking at the rush, right? If you're looking at the rush, Ralphie, you're definitely not stepping up ever.
Oh yeah.
And in the middle of the field gets really hard for you
to bail after the first second.
So is he an idiot? Yes. Some of his comments are, moronic, but yeah. But the truth is, the other part is factual right now. That's the weird part. The other part's factual. Now, calling for Mariota and get a clue, but the other part,
the comment might be atrocious, but I'll applaud the guy for having the balls to come out with an actual original thought and statement rather than just continuing the hamster wheel that is the media. You know what I mean? That is the NFL media, right? You know what I mean? Like, your opinion can be completely wrong and be absolutely baseless, but at least he had the balls to say something different than just, what everybody else continues to pander around on the NFL media and shows like that.
Yeah, he's been hit too much. So,
yeah, I wouldn't paint it as original, Greg. I would be like, oh, they need ratings, and he's going to be the figure it out.
And that's fair. Nothing different than what Skip and Collins say every day.
No, yeah, he's just trying to get on the wagon, I guess. Everything he said, I'm not going to say everything. Parts of what he said leading up to that, like, final hypothesis by him about Mariota might be good and they're going to be in a better position to win. Everything he said was valid. But then if you say valid things for 5 minutes and then you say something idiotic at the end of the 5 minutes, it cancels out the 5 minutes. It makes it void, right? It's like, oh, okay, I wasted 5 minutes of my life listening to that snot.
Well, no, it makes it seem like that stuff isn't true or real because of how you ended it, and it takes away from really good substance at the beginning.
Yep.
Like stuff that is happening. You just don't go begging for the backup. I mean, come on. The 10-3 football team. It's like we're not going to fire somebody. But what we will do is give our score predictions and offensive, defensive players of the game. And I think throughout this season right now, going into week 14, I've probably never been more unsure about a score or like how they're going to come out and play. Like I want to say like, oh, you know what? Like they're going to come out with their hair on fire, right? I want to say that. I thought that last week, right? But I'm going to go back to it, man. Like we can't talk about 3 weeks ago how fucking resilient they are. And now they're the worst team ever, right? You can't have it both ways. Teams go through ups and downs, right? How do you respond to your goddamn downs? Now really time's yours because you just got your ass whooped in 2 primetime per se games, and one was Sunday Night Football. So how do you respond on Monday night? How do you respond? I'm hoping in a big way.
You got your mouth. Oh, my bad.
No, 34-21. Go ahead, Ralph.
No, I was just piggyback on that. You got beat up 2 times on national television. One of the game of the week, America's game of the week, and then come back national television on Sunday night and get smacked up again. What was your score? What was your score, Tommy? That you had
34-21.
Birds.
Yep, that's what I want. That's what I want to go see. Let me see control, right, guys? Let me see some goddamn control of a game. All right, against the team that you're better
which
than.
Bird? A Seahawks a bird too.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
-4 and 48.5. The Eagles -4, 48.5.
Eagles are -4.
Yeah, so essentially a touchdown. If you factor in that.
So give me a 2-score game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a little butt whoop for once in a way.
Ralphie, did you give your score?
No, I'm gonna go this week. Man, oh man. I'm gonna go 26-21 Birds. We don't really win in Seattle, but something's got to change, man.
The last time we won in Seattle, the Phillies were the world champions of baseball.
Yeah,
so it's been a minute.
Jesus Christ.
Weird, but every year, every time you go there, it's different players, right? So
yeah.
So we've
goes away.
And listen,
you said the last.
I understand it's Drew Lock. You can't lose to Drew Lock.
Is it definitely Drew?
I think it's Gino, Ralphie. I mean, either one. Either one.
Either way, you're right.
Yeah.
So Gino is back this week?
I think so.
Okay. Well, either way, I can't lose to either.
No.
No.
Please. Because if we lose Monday night, the city's going up in flames, whether you like it or not.
Well,
because that's 3 straight losses on prime time games.
That's why, like I said, it's been 15 years since we haven't beaten them. It's time to end it. And what better way to do it on Monday Night Football?
Jesse, you're saying your eyes are telling you 35-16 Seattle?
Listen, if that happens, 35-16, everybody goes.
Oh, I fired Nick.
Everybody gets fired on the spot. You
I
don't even
fired
touch
Nick
the
Eason,
charter
yeah.
plane. You don't even get to take your fucking jersey off or your shoes or your
No,
pants.
I
or
give
nothing.
Nick a gift
You're
basket of a
fired.
bunch of. I
Yep.
give Nick a great gift basket, ton of t-shirts.
Starbucks coffees.
Yeah, ton of t-shirts, Starbucks
Chick-fil-A,
coffees.
Flour,
You're
Chick-fil-A
nuts.
gift
some
cards.
soil.
and
No,
that's it.
Chick-fil-A. No Chick-fil-A.
That's a
That's too
loser
good.
locker
That's
room.
too
out
good
of it.
for him. That's too elite. That's too elite for him. Can't
This
do
is
that.
a one and done playoffs, Martian. 35-7 Seahawks. You know what I mean? That's a one and done. We'll make it, but we're one and done.
We said before the 49ers game, okay, we're going to find out who they really are. Okay. Then we said against the Cowboys, we're going to find out how they respond, and how they respond is going to show
Well, I don't
us how
know
they
if we
really
said
are.
how. I don't know if we said that before San Fran, because we knew what they are. They were tough. They just beat 3 great teams, and they beat Miami, right? So we knew how good they were. Me personally, I wasn't matching them up to be like, if you don't beat San Fran, you're not elite, you know?
No, but
They won a lot of big games. That wasn't like my point. Like last year, there was none. So if San Fran was on the schedule and you get your ass kicked, you're like, we stink. We're not as good as our record says, but we just freaking beat. Now we know, right? Kansas City isn't as good, but we still beat KC in Arrowhead, right? Buffalo beat them in Arrowhead, and then we beat Dallas. Let's not take away that win, right? Can't take it away. And then we beat Buffalo in OT, who we know is a good team, right? We know. Nobody wants to see really Buffalo. They can kill you or they can play down the competition. And then we beat Miami prior to that. So we had like 4, I don't want to say signature wins, but 4 really good wins that the San Fran, just the San Fran part of this conversation, the San Fran like wasn't a must. It felt like because I was hyped up, but my point is like, I took that for what it is. Now go to Dallas.
Well,
now Dallas is what matters.
The way I look at it was like, when I say like we'll find out who they truly are against San Fran, I'm not saying like if they lose by a point, that doesn't make us frauds, for example, right? But it was a measuring stick game, right? Especially because we know if everything transpires how it should, we're going to see them again, which is why we were saying like they're treating it as their Super Bowl, which really it's a measuring stick test for us, especially since it's at home, and we will most likely, at least up until that point, look like we would be facing them again at home in the NFC title game if everything was going along the lines. The fact that you get embarrassed there, then you get embarrassed again the following week, at least to me, again, not like a win.
The embarrassed again is what gets you.
Yes,
the
because then
ones.
there's no follow-up, right? Then the resiliency stuff, then it's like, okay, the resiliency was like, hey, we have receivers saying, you'll see. And if anything, it was worse. It was worse than it was the week prior.
The Dallas game. The Dallas game's more like concerning than the ass whooping versus San Fran. Like that shit happens sometimes, right? So you just like, all right, you swallow that. You're 10-2. Get back up. You got Dallas next week. Show the response. If I know it's hard to beat them twice, right? I get that, but just compete.
Concerning.
Right?
Where's my panic button?
But
Hold
then
on.
you fumble 3 times, right? You go down there and you look like you're not engaged, right? To the point. Like that's the game that gets me. San Fran, I can be like, we just beat 3 great teams, are really good ones. Like, okay, you got us. Hey, you got us. Get up now. Like that's the game that bothers me. Now you fast forward to Seattle because that's over. Like that's why it's got to be hair on fire. Because then it's like, okay, all right, we had a bad 2 weeks, right, guys? Then we can go back and say, we had a bad 2 weeks, but through that stretch of that gauntlet that was talked about from the beginning of the fucking year, they did pretty good in that gauntlet. All things considered, the eye test the last 2 games is like, well, and we sort of as a fan base overlook what they did prior. Again, you come out Monday and you're not ready to play, then we have a big fucking problem here.
Well, and to me, again, right or wrong, this is a game. I don't care if you go over there and you score 34 points. If you give up 35, like there's no situation where I'm like, you can get away with not winning this game. You must win this game for numerous
there's
reasons.
must wins and then there's this game.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yes.
There's must wins and then there's this one. Like the House was a must win in a way because how you played before, but this like is a must win on steroids.
It's a must win because of math, right? Unless something crazy happens in the negative side of things with Dallas and the Niners. But
they got tough stretch.
Possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Like the Dallas has the Bills and Buffalo. Like, yeah, it's
Dallas has
a
their
little difficult.
Dallas has their gauntlet.
And then the 49ers also have Baltimore on Monday night, but they play in San Fran.
Yeah, I don't care
Don't
where
have
it's at.
Miami too. Not that Miami, like Miami.
Dallas plays Miami.
Dallas plays Miami.
Dallas
yeah.
has that
Miami
gauntlet we had, right?
Yeah, Dallas
the
has
same
the end of
gauntlet
the
we
month.
had. Dallas
Yeah.
gets now. So Dallas,
They get Buffalo and
they
Buffalo
can easily
and
go
Dolphins
2-2.
back to back.
They
Yeah.
can easily go 2-2,
This is the other part of why,
or they could go 4-0.
It's 100% get. Like you need to win. It's like somehow above a must win. To me, it's about the belief, right? Like I get it.
About the
if we rattle
1
off
too.
4 straight
About the 1
wins-
seed.
Yeah, like if we win, because this is a team that if we are judging it, do we think they can win a Super Bowl? Not be really good, not be the 1 seed, not get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. And all the conversations the last 2 weeks, justified or not, about, oh, well, maybe the 2 seed's better because we won't have to face X.
No, I want the 1 seed.
Like
dude.
the
I want
fact,
the 1
in
seed.
my opinion, the fact that conversation is being had is saying what kind of like it's saying what we don't want to say. It's that the belief is fractured to where if we have to start mapping out, would we rather play Green Bay or Detroit? What do you think about? Like that's saying it, right?
Yeah,
about
people always do that stupid shit, right? You just want, at this point, we just want to see as fans, like, to bring that belief back. It's just go play good football, right? Like, I'm not asking you. I'm asking you to fucking stop turning the football over, get off the field once in a while on third downs, enjoy yourself. The bench gets comfortable at times, right? Like, can we just do the little things, right? That's all we're asking for. Like you said, the belief. You go lose Monday night. I mean, you want to talk about fractured. Like,
it's done. It's done.
Like, I don't believe it's a Super Bowl team then.
No.
Right? Like,
No,
even if you win 35-34, I'll still believe that you have a chance to win a Super Bowl. Just because you went, responded, won. You cannot, I'll say it again, fucking Nick Sirianni, you lose this game, is hot seat city to me. At 10-4. Hot seat city. Because that thing, you're talking collapse type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play the tough, resilient football we watched early on in the year where we kept praising this group and then have like a Phillies collapse, right? Like we said the same thing about the Phillies. They're resilient. Every time we say it about these teams, they all of a sudden can't play anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can we just come out? Can we just come out and play good football? What was your score?
Phillies in September.
The last thing I'll say, my request is show us that you are not the Sixers of the last 6 years, where we're looking at it as soon as we get to the second round and we have to face in the Sixers sense, it was Milwaukee and Boston. In this sense, it's the Niners and the Dallas Cowboys. Show us that we can go into a game against them and we're not thinking, well, damn, we don't even belong on the same field.
I'll tell you this right now. I'll put everything I've ever said for however many years that I've had a goddamn camera on me. I will bet a lot of fucking money that I don't have, right? Like I would take a loan out of the goddamn bank if we play those two teams again. That's all. That's all. Give me the spread. I'm taking the points for the Eagles. I'm not telling you they fucking win, but I'm telling you they're in for dog fights because there ain't no shot the team we know is going somewhere and getting their ass kicked twice. I don't care if it's played at Alcatraz. You understand? I don't give a fuck where the game. You can go to Brazil. I don't care, right? Which is ridiculous, but I don't care. Right? You guys understand what I'm trying to say here? That's my still belief in this football team, right? They've been too tough for freaking 2 years now, and all of a sudden they're going to stink. Come on. Like let's wake up a little bit here and let's try to get ourselves back up off the floor too as fans because we've had a big sample size of winning games, ugly, awesome, in between, right? And now we've got our ass kicked for 2 weeks. We felt like we've been. Am I gonna say whatever? Not been good. Can we just bounce back up? This is the team we believe, all 6 of us, that has the bounce back in them. Does people out there believe that this team is going to bounce back Monday night? Because I want to hear from everybody at 10-3 and the schedule we played and the big games we won that you don't believe there's a bounce back. Goodness gracious. That means every veteran's a goddamn fraud on this team, which we know one is. We know one of the captains of our defense is the biggest loser I've ever seen in this city. All right? Biggest loser ever. And I don't crown a lot what Seth Joyner says either. Because Seth's an idiot half the time with shit he says. He looks for clicks 90% of the time too. I get it. Right? But Seth was a damn good linebacker in this league for a long time, right? And he's a guy who got his beak wet. Right? So when he's talking about the 1-2 of tackling, don't You don't get, if you went and tackled, babe, you don't got to defend yourself on Twitter. That's how that works. You don't got to feel the need to defend. All right. And don't act like you don't know a guy either. That's disrespectful. Like a guy who played here for a long time and was awesome. Don't act like you don't know him. No. You know what I mean? Don't be that dude. Don't be that diva. Like, or, you know, some guy and play it off. Like, have some fucking respect, bro. All right. Because if you saw a man to man, he'd probably whoop your ass. So I would be very careful on how you go about your diva mentality. Now, have you played better outside of tackling? Yeah, I'll give him credit. He's played better, even though, right, his targets have been good, right? Makes sense?
Yep.
But overall, dude, like you're going to talk about it's too much. And you can't have one of your leaders and a guy wearing a C running the Twitter like right after the game defending shit and showing like I played good. What, bro?
He asked for Pro Bowl votes today, too, on Twitter.
Yeah. I just wanted to pass. I wanted to drive by that. All right, you loser. Pro Bowl votes. Are you fucking high?
Darius, take those Pro Bowl votes and stick it up your ass. The only bowl you belong in is in the fucking toilet bowl.
And the reason I'm ripping Seth is Seth's last comment, not about Darius, about this team, I think is horseshit. Like, they're not good. Like, they're not good enough, right? Blah, 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 blah. Like, all that kind of mentality. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, can we stop being in, like, one moment, though? Like, I get it. They're 10-3. It's not like they're 10-3 and they beat up on all the shit teams. Come on. Like, we actually didn't beat Dallas once already. Right? Like, we just drive by that win. We drive by Buffalo. We drive by Kansas City. We drive by Miami. We drive by other tough games we played. Right, guys? Like, come on. I get they didn't play good. And to say, like, oh, this isn't, there's concerns, etc. Fine. But, like, say they're not good enough anymore is, like, just weird to me. So, whatever. But, all right, give your predictions, guys. Right,
Rod,
what was
you give your score?
30-20, Eagles.
Yeah, we went through all that. Holy shit. Good talk.
If you add Miami to that gauntlet, right, they went 4-2. I think you look at the beginning of the year, you look at the schedule, and you go 4-2 in that gauntlet. You sit there and you say, yeah, we'll take it. Right? We'll take it every day and twice on Sunday. Yep. Now, granted, last 2 weeks haven't been good.
Nope.
And as we get through the seasons, right, expectations change. Right? You realistically probably should have went 5-1, taking the loss to the Niners and hopefully beat the Cowboys by coming back. But I do. You can't, Tommy, you mentioned it when you gave your prediction too, right? You can't take away what we watched the first 10 weeks, right? You can't take away those big drives we've had in times when we've needed them. You can't take away the good play when Jalen's been on, right? In those fourth quarters and those second halves, right? You can't take that away all of a sudden just because we've been shit for 2 weeks. It sucks. We're down. But we bounced back this week because that's what this team has always done, right? You thought it was coming last week. It didn't. That's okay. We went through a funk, right? Dallas went through a funk. San Fran went through a funk. This is ours. Yep. Those 4 wins to start that gauntlet were emotional, right? They were big games. The emotions were high. They just got deflated. Now they got embarrassed, right? Now they bounce back. 28-20 for me. Eagles.
No, Noah?
You're not going to like this, fellas.
3-3.
The last 2 weeks were ugly. I don't see it getting better this week.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Did you pick
I
Eagles
just
to lose?
don't.
Yeah, you're like a Seth Joyner, too. You guys are similar. You guys are out on them.
You're going to pick Eagles to lose? Wait.
Yeah, we don't take notes here. I don't personally, but
Eagles to lose? For the first time in your life, you're
I don't
going to
even
pick
think I've
Eagles to
ever
lose?
seen this. I don't think I've ever seen him pick the Eagles to lose ever.
Pick them to lose.
God. Come on, Eagles. I need you to prove it to me. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove it. Shut up, Darius, and fucking prove it. You embarrassed yourself at the link against San Francisco, giving up 42 fucking points, and you're still running your mouth. You go down to Dallas, Give up 33, and you still can't shut the fuck up. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. It's embarrassing.
He's soft.
If I went to work at 4 a.m. and didn't do my job, I'd be fired on the spot. Show up. Seahawks win this game. Prove me wrong, Sirianni. Prove me wrong, Dylan.
What's the score?
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, AJ. And that whole defense. Prove me wrong.
Everybody, prove me wrong. What's your score?
Offense, hold on to the ball. Defense, make a fucking tackle. Get off the fucking field on third down. And if we can't do that, we're losing this game.
Yeah. Score?
Hate to do it.
I know.
Seahawks win this game 24-21.
Dude, he picked.
Dude, bro, you're like fucking crying. It's amazing. I can feel it in you. Like, I think you just got choked up. I think you
Prove
just choked
me
up.
wrong.
No. You know what? They proved you wrong with 10 goddamn wins. So, you know what? Would you stop it? Because you're so emotionally tied to Dallas that some guys are so emotionally tied to Dallas losses that they just think the team stinks. Did you forget the win? Did you forget the win?
We started 10-1.
No,
I didn't forget that.
No. You're an emotional Dallas guy. You're missing what I'm saying, babe. I know you. You're an emotional Dallas cat, and those types of losses versus Dallas sit with you more than anybody in the country. I know. I've been with you for a long time. I know you, and it's good. It's good. You need this. You need this, and I promise you, if anyone wants to bet me, I'll bet somebody $1,000 right now the Eagles win. What haters want to do it? What haters want to do it? That's how sure I am, and they'll probably get their ass kicked now, but that's how sure I am and confident, not in Nick, in the leaders, besides Darius and Nick. Besides Darius and Nick.
I need 53 Philadelphia Eagles to go out to Seattle and prove me wrong.
Here goes everybody.
I want to see it.
53-point bagger. I was like,
they should honestly have Noah in the locker room pre-game, give the Rudy speech. You know what I mean?
That's like
you know how you read now that like Sirianni showed a movie the night before the game to get him inspired. No, just show him that clip of Noah.
Sirianni showed all the players the shit talking that the 49ers did all week long and still got their asses beat.
Oh, here we go. I love weed for 1K. He wants the 1K. I see the star, baby. That shit's big too, bro. Goodness gracious. Like, I mean, that's obnoxiously big. You know what I mean? Just put it on the back of your car window. You know, throw it on your bumper sticker. You know, put that on your bumper sticker. You know, that is gigantic. That thing pops. Goodness gracious. Is that just a star or is there a hat around? Is there a hat in there? It's on. Anybody else want to double dip too? Come on in. Come on in. You didn't call no goddamn bluff. I just said, I'm in. There's no bluff here. Let's go. Don't hurt it. I ain't scared. It's on. It don't go nowhere. It is on. You're going to be the one who don't pay though. I know how this goes, but I'm here. Live on air telling you it's on. You fucking bunch of idiots. If you think this team comes out and doesn't play inspired, come on. Come on. We're looking around like we're 3-10. Like we're 3-10. Morons.
It would be ironic if we win on Monday and then we lose to the Giants.
Yes. One of the two. DeVito cutlets us up.
Oh, yeah. That offense looks better than ours. Guy that got him out of the kitchen.
Spells.
He was out there cooking.
I can't even hate
kitchen.
him, you know?
And that offense has
another
movement.
guy, but, you know.
This fucking idiot New York team, like, dude, you should be trying to lose. But okay.
Yep.
Keep trying to win meaningless games.
Like New England on Thursday night. Like, what are you doing winning that game?
Try to lose.
Bill's out.
I know this is a ridiculous question.
This guy, chump change. All right, then make it 2. All right, Chumpy.
Put your house on the line. Let's go, man.
No, we're not doing that.
Sorry.
Okay.
Hey, Ralph.
Can't be living in Tent City, Ralph. You know what I mean? With a little guy. You know, that's a lot. That's asking a lot. I'm not doing 5K. Knock it off, bro. That's absurd. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, now we're getting outrageous. 1K is already like, hey. And I said I'll up it to 2, but I'm sticking with 1. That was the original deal. 1K. Let's go. Because the more I talk about it, the more I think we're going to lose. So I want to stop right now. Blake, can you give me a score prediction and bring me back before this happens?
Well, before I get into that, I just want to say whoever started about the Pro Bowl, I don't want to talk about the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl to me is non-existent.
Yeah.
So let's forget about that and let's get back to business with this. I got good news for you, fellas. I think the Eagles are going to come out strong in this one. In fact, I think it's going to be an identical score. It was. I don't know if you guys remember this game. When they went to Seattle back in 2001, they crushed them. And I think that might have been the first game back after 9/11, if I stand correct. So it's going to be a similar score. In fact, only this time, it's going to be 28. Seattle gets one more field goal. It's going to be 28-6 Eagles. Complete domination.
28-6.
Yeah, 28-6.
I hope you're right.
To show where we're back. The last 2 weeks we were just, we weren't ourselves. This is a game we're going to come back. And I agree with you guys that I think, or maybe you said this, Tom, that I think that extra day is going to help the defense. And I think that's going to make a difference. And I think they're going to come out and dominate and prove that we're back.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle is obviously in like must win after losing 4 in a row, right? So I get that side of desperation, but we're desperate as shit too, right? We're really desperate,
and we're more talented than them too. So I'm going with the more talent. So Eagles, Eagles 28-6.
Eli Ricks.
Well, I know who covers DK. Hold the fuck on. Hold on, I know who's covering DK, Ralph. So he better start tweeting.
Mr. Pro Bowl?
You better start tweeting. You better ain't going to get Pro Bowl. You get beat for 150. Because that's the only guy who can cover him in reality. Like size-wise, not physicality.
Yeah, you gonna give me Pro Bowl votes? I'll vote for you, Pro Bowl. Follow him everywhere he goes. You want to be his shadow? Go right ahead. You want a Pro Bowl vote from me? Follow that dude all night long.
Anybody know Avonte's status?
No, I thought he was done for the year.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
Jesus Christ.
I've heard that he isn't.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just curious. Because that would be like a game changer if that could happen somehow.
You know what would be a game changer too? If Kevin Byard did something. Because right now it's looking like right now I'm thinking like, can we get it to the status where it's as good as the Golden Tate trade? Well, where it's like, this was terrible in the regular season, but he had a moment in the playoffs.
We don't win. Yeah, we don't win that KC game without that pick, right?
Yeah,
so he's had more moments than he's been here less time than Bradbury. He's had more moments. Right? It's crazy.
Bradbury sucks right now. He's bad.
It's like, I mean, none of them take the ball away.
No, well, that's the thing. On top of like our quarterback somewhat regressing and our coaching staff being like not good, and I'm trying to be nice by saying just not good. We turn the ball over, but we don't cause turnovers. That's not great. That's not necessarily a recipe for success.
No. All I see is that he just had surgery on the torn pec. That would keep him out indefinitely. They don't have
just had the surgery?
No. He had the surgery back then. It's just that
he's not that far. I'm telling you. I think he could be back if they make the playoffs. I've heard that. I've read
shit,
that.
We could sure use him.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's a savior. I'm just curious of return time. You know, whatever. 3 plays and he's hurt again. But okay, offensive player of the game. Well, I'm just gonna go at it. It's got to be the quarterback.
Yeah, I'll make it easy for me too. I'm going Jalen, dude. It has to be.
Nice. I was going to go running game, but I don't trust it.
Fucking slop football from you. I need another primetime game in Seattle that we haven't won in almost 75 plus years. Yeah, I need something from you. I need you to have a pulse Monday night, please.
Yeah, Trexler. I think Allen just like literally handed that one off to him too. Mm-hmm. Like, here, you want a freebie?
Dallas Goedert, 2 touchdowns.
AJ Brown.
I'll stay consistent since I picked the fucking shithawks. DK Metcalf scores the game-winning touchdown.
Blake.
I'm going to go with DeVonta Smith. He's going to pick up from last week's performance and have an even bigger game. So, won't as many touchdowns. He'll have one, but he'll make it up in the receiving yards category. I'm going to go 7 catches, $150.
I'll be honest, boys. I hope all 5 of you are right, or I'm just not seeing it.
We can tell.
We're hoping the same thing.
You don't say.
Yeah. Are you going to be honest?
I get it. It's a week-to-week league. It's a roller coaster. You know, everybody has a few bumps in the road. What I saw on Sunday night was just flat out pitiful.
Dallas broken.
And
Dallas broken.
He's broken.
It looked like a team that wasn't prepared, wasn't ready, and I just don't think this is fixable in a week.
Okay, season's over. Defensive player of the game.
I'm not saying that, but
well, I mean,
I think it's going to get a little worse before it gets better. Thank God we have the Giants and the Cardinals to wrap it up.
Defensive player of the game. I'm going to go with the aforementioned Kevin Byard. Gets a big pick. It's a big pick in this football game. So I'll go him or a fumble, something like that. I went line last week. That didn't age well, so I'm going away from it. I'm getting away from it. See ya.
Ralphie?
Jalen Carter, 2 sacks.
Darius Slay. Interception.
Pro Bowl vote.
Josh Sweat.
He's pissed off too, which I like.
I loved his answer. That was my favorite answer the entire week.
It was like my favorite quote of the whole season.
Fair.
Essentially, because Jalen's just the same shit.
Yeah.
You could have the same quote for Jalen every week.
Which works when you're winning. When you're losing, it gets...
Yeah. Keep the main thing. Week 12.
And especially after we dealt with that for so long with Andy, right? Andy was that same way.
Right? It tells you nothing.
Then it starts.
It started with Carson too.
When it
started with Carson too, right? Carson was
anybody. They all do it, right? You listen to any presser after a team loses. I got to do better. We know. We just watched. Didn't need that answer, but we just watched you stink.
The problem is the thing that Jalen says, like everyone says now, it's the standard. The standard. What's the standard? A touchdown? Multiple touchdowns? How about let's get to 30 points? Is that the standard? How about win?
I think their standard essentially is like big play city, right? That's what they expect, and that standard isn't living up. So what else you guys got? Who else? We got defensive wise. So Slay.
The standard should be winning a huge divisional game on the road.
Dude, they won a huge divisional game against the same damn team at home. Why do you put no stock into that? Why? How did that just get erased?
That was November. We're in December.
It's the same goddamn season. Something wrong with you. I mean, you know this already. This isn't new.
I mean, come on. You've known me for 10 years, Tommy.
No, I love you. But there's something really wrong with you. And there's stuff wrong with me, too. Because sometimes a team shows you something, right? And we all saw it. And that fight and that grit. And then, it's hard for me to, in the same season, right? In football, which is, sort of quick, but sort of long, right?
Oh, they're getting longer. Before I die, there's going to probably be 30 game seasons. Jesus.
Yep. You have 10 in Brazil. I just can't. It's weird to watch you just quit on them. Because that's what you did. Don't give me fucking New York and other bullshit games that are layup lines. I'm fucking talking about Monday night. And Monday night, you just quit on them. And I've really never seen that before out of you, unless they've already stunk, right? But I don't know. Well, we've had a couple times together where we've been really good. But when we've been really good, I've never seen you jump off a wagon in terms of not thinking they're going to win. It's amazing.
I hear you. I just don't have a good feeling about Monday night based off of what I've seen the last 2 weeks.
And that's fair.
And I'm not saying that we can't win a playoff game. And hell, who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a little revenge against either San Francisco or Dallas. That'd be great. But if you ask me today, do I think this looks like a Super Bowl team right now? I cannot honestly say yes.
I just beat up. I just think they're tired, dude. I just think guys are exhausted defensively. Like, I don't think this team isn't good anymore. I think they need the extra day. I think they need the 1 seed. They got to find a way to get a fucking breather here. Right, Ralph? They got to run the table. You got to run the table now and find the goddamn way to get a breather. Because if they get a breather, this front's going to be elite in the playoffs.
The only game you can really hope for the 49ers to lose is that Baltimore game. Because they have Arizona,
who else they got?
They have Arizona this week.
Where?
At home.
Okay.
At home. They have Baltimore at home Monday night. That's a Monday night game.
Of course they do.
They have Washington, and then they end the year against the Rams.
Where?
1 second.
That Rams game though might mean something to the Rams.
Yeah, 7-6.
Yeah, the Rams usually play the Niners tough.
And they
No,
play
excuse
tough
me.
anyway.
They have
Arizona's playing better too, so don't even
49ers have
it's
Arizona
Skyler's
in
back.
Arizona. Then they have the Ravens at home. Then they play away at Washington. Then they end the year at home against Los Angeles.
Right? I'm not drawing a blank here. All they got to do is lose one.
One.
We run the table.
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
So
Because
in reality,
we're all 10-3 right now.
yeah, they're going to lose one.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but they're going to. And you can say the same thing about the Eagles too, right? Like they're going to lose one, right? But Eagles' schedule's a lot easier per se because the only 2 division games you have is against the Giants, and they really do stink. So in reality, Arizona's a tough game, but it's not a divisional game, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little
and
different.
the Cowboys have back-to-back away games now. So they play in Buffalo, then they play in Miami, and then they come home against the Lions.
It's 3 tough games, dude.
3 tough games.
They're absolutely losing a game. They
Then they
lose
finish
too.
out the year. Then they finish out the year in Washington to finish.
But I
out
don't
the
care
year.
about the division, right? I care about the one more than I care about the
Oh yeah,
division.
100%. That extra rest does wonders for anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Sometimes I don't like it, right? Sometimes you
you're
don't
not,
like
you're not
it.
going to
That's
sit
the
here
division.
and
You care
beat
about
around
the
the bush for
division.
everybody, but like the defense is shit. If you can get the number 1 seed and give that defense a week off before getting really into everything, that does wonders for everybody.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so all you need is 1 win to get to the NFC chip, right? You just,
Yeah.
At that
Yeah.
once, you need 1 win.
And it runs through Philly again. So you're home. You're laying in your own bed. You don't got to take a fucking plane anywhere. You don't got to do the bus.
Well, that's the biggest thing here that I wanted to mention earlier and I didn't, right? Is that the one thing they have is something really good, right? They obviously travel to Seattle this week, but after that, they don't get on a flight anymore.
It's all home. It's all
Yeah,
home.
they don't get on a flight. So
It's
their
just bus
last 3
trips.
weeks, their last 3 weeks is 1 bus ride. That
Yeah.
is gigantic
Yeah.
when you're talking about the body, when you're talking about the rest needed. Those little things that matter as you're creeping in, when you're looking at a fatigued front 4 or front 7, they are fatigued out of their minds right now. You know what I mean? So the 1 day, the being at home after the flight from Seattle, those little things are going to help them. It really will.
Take a 2.5-hour bus ride up the turnpike to go play. You know what I mean? It's
Not even.
Yeah.
Not even.
It would have been
Wants to
really
go
nice.
70. You know what I mean? Bus goes 70. You're there in an hour 15, baby.
Yeah, hour 30. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right there.
It would have been really nice if we didn't have to play our starters that final week in MetLife, the home of the torn ACL, right? Like that would have been nice.
Well, you might not, depending on where you're at, right? Like if you don't, hypothetically, like the division's locked for some reason, Dallas loses twice, right? Or something, right?
Yeah.
Where the division gets locked up and you can't get the 1 seed, right? But you're playing that first weekend. Well, that's when they're going to get the rest then. If that game doesn't matter.
So that
ass backwards way.
Week 18 is a bye week.
So what would need to happen for that? Something like this is if Dallas loses their next 2, which is, listen, the Dolphins have been disappointing, right? The last handful of weeks.
Yeah, but if Tyreek's healthy, they'll beat them.
Exactly.
Right.
And then obviously, they could lose that the Bills are weird, right? And then they have to go to the Bills. So it's even that other element. So if the Dallas drops their next 2, if we win our next two, say we just win out, say we win, we go win.
They win in 3, yeah.
And say the Niners beat Baltimore, and then they do what they need to do against the inferior teams, to where it's like, okay, they have the 1 seed, but then we've separated by a game and a half against Dallas.
Yep.
Then it's like, okay, we're in that 2 seed.
Then you rest it. Yep.
Which is feasible. I could see it's good as Baltimore.
Anyway works for me. I'm not scared of anybody in the playoffs, right, guys? Like I'm not nervous. I got to play a first round game. Like if I can get the rest somewhere, like if I can get the bye somewhere mixed in there, I'm cool. Right? So to that point, like you just want to get it somewhere in there. Hopefully it is. Yeah, the Dolphins could beat the Cowboys. That's a tough play. That's a tough place to, it's hot, right? A little steamy. I don't know, dude. I mean, you act like the league isn't all over the place, guys.
Also, if the Eagles win,
the Cowboys also lost to the Cardinals.
If the Eagles win Monday night, we're in the play. It's a playoff berth. We get a playoff berth.
Yeah,
it's automatic.
Since the bye, right? Since the bye, Buffalo, KC, Dallas, San Fran, the defense has averaged 70.5 snaps.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's unsustainable, right?
We need to get off the field on 3rd down.
I would like, you know what I would like, and I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, and I'm shocked it hasn't, is that Ndamukong Suh isn't back. Like, I'm shocked that hasn't happened.
I was just going to say, it would have been nice if we would have signed him.
It keeps being talked about. It's always being talked about. Like, what's the problem? Yeah. What's the problem? Get rid of somebody. Like, bring him in, dude.
Maybe he's the leak. That's why he didn't get signed.
Right? But it's just a fresh body, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to give him 30, 40 snaps right away. But if you can give him 10 and then get him up to 20 and he's playing 20, 25 snaps, that helps everybody else.
What a place to be in your career, though, by the way. Like a wanted man, like week 10 later. Like you got to deal with training camp. You got to deal with any of that mess.
No, you just got to have that mental mindset to keep your body, like, to stay strong, right? Stay in shape. Everybody go with their defense, by the way.
No, and Blake did not.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't matter because it's somebody on.
Right.
It's Bobby Wagner.
So I'm going to go with Hassan Reddick. Last couple of weeks, I know, it's been tough for him, but I think he bounces back this week and gets a couple sacks and drops whoever's playing, whether it's Drew Lock, Geno Smith, their ass is going to the ground, courtesy of Hassan.
Yeah, I just hope these snap counts still don't hurt them. But I do think that extra day is going to help. Right, but you know how you rejuvenate it? You stay on the fucking field offensively. You want to rejuvenate your defensive front? You want to rejuvenate your entire defense that's been on the field too much? How about we go on a 7-minute drive and start the game? How about we're not so fucking stupid that we defer? All right, in Dallas on the road. Can we buy a clue, please? Like our defense has been on the field, like Greg said. Do we have analytics? Those numbers are alarming. We're going to put them on the field right away, you idiot. Are you that stupid, Nick? Like, if you follow analytics in this situation, not every situation, but this one tells you don't put your defense on the field. No, but the opposite happens, and they go on a long drive. Like, are we okay?
Guys goes in the press conference saying, we need a spark at the beginning of the game. You know what a spark is? Giving the football to a team who hasn't lost a home game in 14 games.
Yeah, and it's the greatest show on turf at home. So we're going to give them the ball against the defense that's been getting gashed. Like, I don't know. Get a clue. Like, go take the ball and go down and get 7 on them and make them nervous, right? Like, let your defense play with a lead. That's common sense. He's a fucking idiot. I like Nick, but he's starting to bother me now. Don't bother me, Nick. Because I got to see you this winter. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. Because I'll have some hard questions. Maybe I'll get a coffee. You know what I mean? And not disrespectful, obviously, but like just common sense questions. Like I would ask him, like, why do you guys
come in this cage with me? Come in this cage with me.
Come here. I'll give you some free lessons, bro. I'll say it right on air. As long as you're here, Nick, you come to me for baseball lessons. I'm actually going to text my buddy and tell him that. My buddy runs Haddonfield. My buddy runs my buddy runs the entire league over there at Haddonfield. You know what I mean? And they train with us. So I might be training his son at some point this winter.
Yeah.
So, I'll be like, listen, go tell your never did. Go tell your dad.
I would never run the fucking ball.
Yeah, I would never do that. Some guys would. Some guys are like Noah would. Like, no, it would. No, but tell your father that if they don't start running the football, there's gonna be a problem in here.
You can lose every game but Dallas. Every game but Dallas.
No, but at the
You
end of
can
the day, he's
go
a great
2-15 as long as you beat Dallas twice. You'll keep your job forever.
Yeah, Ray Rhodes. So at the end of the day, he is a great guy. But this is like, there's some common sense stuff that we're just all as a fan base confused by, because we are a smart fan base, right? So I'd have some questions, but
it's the worst. I'll just say real quick, it's the worst the offense has looked since the Raider game, his rookie season, before he handed the offense.
When we went there and got smacked. Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's trends and themes,
and he's an offensive minded guy. So
he says.
That's what got him the job. And he keeps talking about high school. Well, his offense looks like high school. That's what I would say to him. Can we stop talking about high school, Nick? This is the NFL.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him because he got us to a Super Bowl.
Of course.
But we know why he got the job. We know.
Oh, well, you know what my question would be? Is it coming from up top? And nobody asked this. Nobody's got the fucking balls to ask it in the media because they're all dry jocks. And none of them have the balls because they're worried about the credentials getting ripped.
They don't want to lose.
Yeah, like, fuck the crap. What do I need credentials for? Somebody's going to get a quote. Somebody's going to ask a question. I've said this for years, right? It's like the most overrated thing people like clamor over is credentials, right? Cool. We got credentials for the Philadelphia Wings. We're going to be doing pregame and postgame shows for the Wings, right? That's our starter credentials, because sooner or later, I'm going to get us into NovaCare. And that question, sooner rather than later, needs to be asked. Where is it coming from to be so pass happy? Is that coming from Jeffrey? That's all. I want to know, because nobody's offense in the history of football is deep ball oriented as much as you guys. It's got to be coming from a movie producer, right? It's got to be coming from somebody who watches a lot of movies.
Yep.
But nobody asked.
They paid the quarterback all that money.
Why does nobody ask that question? Like, is this what Jeffrey wants?
Of course it is.
Whatever.
They want to pass the ball. That's been our MO since Andy Reid came to town.
Well, right, to your point, we're doing the same thing again.
24 years ago.
How he controls who's on the staff, how he controls all of it. This is why Doug isn't here. Doug was a damn good coach. He brought us our only Super Bowl. That guy should get a job for the next 10 years. But the opposite happened because he wasn't going to be a yes guy, right? I'm not crushing the hire. I'm not crushing Nick. No. My point is we saw it. The second you don't listen to Jeffrey is the second you're out of a job. If you're not going to listen to Jeffrey in hell, you're not going to be here. That's where their egos get involved. They made a really good hire, maybe a great one. Record says great one right now, right? He's a great hire right now. So everything changes with a win Monday, guys. You know, we're not crushing Nick. We're not crushing Howie. Just go win a football game, and everything calms itself down.
This conversation isn't meant to be like disrespectful. It's that, hey, this is what happens when for 2 years, for the most part, you show everyone pretty much excellence, right? You're blowing teams out. You're getting the Super Bowls, all that sort of stuff. And then you get embarrassed back-to-back weeks to your two biggest rivals in the NFC. That's what happens. What happens? Yeah, everything's on the table when you get embarrassed like that. Everyone is on the table. There's nobody that's safe.
Yeah, all I was going to say was that regarding all this, frustration stuff, the one thing I can always say is what can heal all this is just win, baby. Just win. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, Mike, it's a good question. Like, does it matter how they win or just have to win? I mean, of course, it's not a beauty contest, right? So at this point, a win starts to calm it down. Doesn't mean we still have some problems or concerns, right? But just getting a win at this point,
you can just get to the locker room with a W. It does everything for you.
Yeah, everybody breathes,
right?
Everybody breathes a little bit, right? So that's what you want. You want some breath. Thanks, EC1. Show no notes, best in the business. Let's go. Ralphie, you want to do games?
Yeah, for sure. Let me bring it up real quick.
Well, let's get it. I mean, let's get a
pulling that up. I
get a goddamn petition. What?
I have to fact check myself. 77, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Not surprised you're wrong on Google. Yeah, not surprised you're wrong on Google. But
I forgot Buffalo put up 92 on us.
Jesus.
In the overtime. Yeah.
And that's why the San Fran ass whooping comes.
Yeah.
From them offensively, right? Yeah.
Yeah. KC 74, Buffalo 92, San Fran 69, and Dallas 74.
Jesus, goodness gracious,
play
dude.
call. Where the offensive plays.
All right, you guys ready to rock and ready to go?
Yeah, sir. Let's
All
fire
right.
through them.
Wrap it
Oh,
up.
sorry. I got to do something. Brought
Okay.
to you by hats.com. You can go get any hat you want. Use code Philly for 15% off your order at hats.com. Go ahead, Ralphie.
Thursday night football tomorrow night. Chargers at Raiders. Raiders are favored by 3.5. Over under is 34.5.
Raiders.
Yeah.
No Herbert, no Allen.
I'll never pick the Chargers again. Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Raiders.
You're hurting, Rye. You're hurting.
I had to put friggin' Herbert on IR in fantasy. It's not.
Yeah, in one of my leagues, in my big money league, right? I'm like 11 and whatever, but he's my quarterback.
Oh,
Like, come
big
on,
loss.
dude.
I picked up Geno because I'm like, oh, he'll have a good game against the Eagles.
And it's
Yeah,
playoffs.
I picked up Jordan Love. It was like
He's been
Jordan
good.
Love. It was
He's
like
been good.
Ross. Yeah, it was like Russell Wilson or Jordan Love, and I'm like, let me go with Jordan right now.
He struggled this last week, so he should have a good bounce back this week.
Because Herbert wasn't like crushing it, right? He was like 20, 22. He was solid. You knew you were getting, right? It was like you knew what you were getting, but it wasn't anything elite. It wasn't like you were getting like 40s and whatever. So I'm in the
DeVito
same
wasn't
boat you're
available,
in.
Tom? DeVito wasn't available for you?
Gino?
No, DeVito.
No, probably.
First of the 3 Saturday games we get this week. Minnesota at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's favored by 2.5. Over under is 40.
Cincinnati.
No Josh Dobbs this week for Minnesota as he got benched. Nick Mullins is the quarterback for Minnesota.
We've seen that. Bengals.
I'll go with the ghost of Joe Burrow with this one.
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Cincy for me as well.
Minnesota might sign Flacco. Did you see that?
Really?
Why they put him on the practice squad? Why is he available right now?
I don't know.
What are they doing?
Cleveland's a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
Cleveland put him on the practice squad, so he's eligible.
After they won the game. After they won the game, he went to the
And they
practice
announced
squad.
that he was starting the rest of the year. Then they came out Monday. They put him on the practice squad.
I'm surprised David Carr hasn't gone on TV and said, "Oh, the Eagles should sign Flacco. He's better than Hurts." I'm surprised that hasn't been a take.
Tommy, did you not know that?
No.
Yeah.
He's available.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
I don't know.
Who's starting for them?
The
I don't know.
three-name
Kid?
guy.
It still might be him if no
No,
one
the kid from
claims him.
UCLA? Is the kid from
DTR, yeah.
Oh, wait, I got a call
Who are
coming
they
in.
playing?
All right, see ya.
Wait, it's from 440 area code, Cleveland? I wonder what they want.
Maybe you.
Next Saturday game is Pittsburgh at the Colts. Colts are favored by 1.5. Over under is 42.5.
Colts.
Wait, who do they play, Ralphie? Who do the Colts play?
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
Give me the Colts.
Actually, let me lock that Colts.
Yep, I'm not going to lock that now.
I say the Steelers get off the mat.
Jesus Christ.
Mitchell?
You're gonna pick the Steelers, but not the
Picking
Eagles.
Mitchell over the Eagles.
You're picking Mitchell Trubisky. You really are an issue.
He's broke.
All
He's
right.
been broken. They broke.
Yeah,
the
he's
Cowboys
broken.
broke him.
Yeah, let's keep
Blake,
this
go ahead,
rocking.
Blake.
Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Indy. Is Minshew still starting for
Yes.
Indy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Minshew
Minshew Mania is
wild
gonna
on
run. Minshew Mania is gonna run wild.
Yes.
Broncos, last Saturday night game, Broncos at Detroit. Detroit is favored by 4. Over under is 47.5.
Yeah, lock this in with Detroit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I'm not
Detroit-
locking
I'm
it.
going Detroit. If they lose this
I'll
game,
let
I'm
Tommy have the lock, but yes, Detroit. Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, I just feeling a really they need one, right?
Yeah.
So they're in our
Yeah.
boat.
If
Hey
they
guys.
lose this, they're dead. So I'll go Detroit.
Yeah. Hey guys, where's Don? Hey guys. All right, next one. Or next person.
Oh my bad.
Who you guys taking?
Detroit.
Good to have you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I think they bounce back this week.
All right. Now Sunday games, Buccaneers at Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 3.5. Over under is 41.5.
Packers.
Packers, sorry. I didn't mean to say Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Packers.
Greg's home team.
I'm going to go with Green Bay. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right, next game, Tommy Cutlets and the Giants at New Orleans. Saints are favored by 6, over unders 39.5.
Man, this last couple of weeks been game-wise. Holy shit.
Saints. It's hard.
Is it Jameis?
Doesn't matter.
I'm not too sure.
All right.
I'm going Saints.
Put some fucking sauce on the cutlet. It's over.
Yeah, the Giants and lock me the under. I don't even care what the under is.
I think the Giants beat the Saints.
All right.
I'm going to say that as well. I think the Giants win 2 in a row. And I think.
Oh my God! They found their franchise quarterback.
They come in the Philly winning 2 in a row.
Daniel Jones, who are now a Minnesota Vikings.
Knock it off, Blake. Don't start repeating shit he says. You don't want to be living in his head.
Noah. You'll go down a dark hole.
Daniel Jones, you are now a Viking.
Don't do it. Ralphie, what do you got next?
Falcons, divisional game. Falcons at Carolina. Falcons are favored by 3 on the road. Over under is 34.
Weirdest line in America. Give me the Falcons.
Yo, I don't mean to interrupt. Before we get started with the picks, I wanted to tell you guys something. I don't know if you guys saw it on social media. There's actually tickets going on sale for this game. So from what I heard, starting at 45 cents, like on the resale market. I started laughing.
In
45
Carolina?
cents.
Wouldn't shock me.
45 cents.
That's how bad this game is. Give me Carolina, though.
Yeah, just come on in, guys. It's free.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Who's Carolina playing?
They are playing the Falcons.
The Cowboys.
In Carolina.
Oh, they're playing the Falcons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
I know
Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll go with Atlanta as well.
Next game. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'll just go with Atlanta as well.
Next game
I could use some extra cash. Would they pay me to go to the Carolina game?
Yeah, probably.
Probably would.
They need bodies.
45 cents, man, on the resale market.
Next game is also another divisional game. Texans at Titans. Titans are favored by 2.5. Over unders 37.5.
Texans.
That tells me CJ Stroud isn't playing.
That's right. He's hurt.
There's no shot.
What was it? What did he get hurt?
Concussion,
I thought.
Dude, he got smoked.
Give me Titans. Lock
yeah,
it.
Titans. Yeah, Titans.
Lock me in.
Yeah, it's at Tennessee, by the way.
Oh, it's in Tennessee?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Titans.
Give me Tennessee. Tennessee.
All right. Next game is Jets at Miami. Miami is favored by 8.5. Over under is 37.5.
Give me Jets.
Lock me with Jets.
Zach Wilson's back, baby. The MILF Hunter's back.
The MILF Hunter's got his
his
groove back.
He's got a great mentor. Say that much. Because that guy definitely has his fucking back. So
yeah.
whatever we want to say about Zach, right? I'll say Rodgers has been a fucking tremendous teammate.
And he's grown up a lot himself too.
Absolutely. Like I think doing the shit with McAfee, he's more open about stuff. He's honest.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Wilson as well.
Yes,
I'm talking about Wilson.
Both.
Yeah. But you're right. Him being more vocal and more in the media with McAfee, Rodgers wise.
I think he's helped. I mean, listen. Zach, we're not going to act like he turned a corner because of 1 week, right? 1 half of football. But, I do think over time around Aaron, they're very similar in certain things they do, right? Like, I'm not calling Zach Wilson Aaron Rodgers. So everybody calm the fuck down. What I'm saying is he plays in the biggest fucking market in sports, which has the most pressure ever. And it wasn't a good start. It's hard, and it didn't get off to good quotes, right? A lot of things, right? Obviously, offensively, coordinator-wise, etc., it's been atrocious, right? So, and offensive line, different things like that. But, good for the kid, dude. Good for the kid. That's all.
Next game is my bad, right?
Oh, you're good. Dolphins. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Next game is Chicago at Cleveland. Cleveland is favored by 3. Over under is 38.
Well, I'm never taking Chicago, so give me Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going to assume they still have Joe Flacco in Cleveland, so who would have thought I'd be saying that?
Yeah, give me Cleveland.
Yep.
Cleveland all around.
Cleveland rocks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, same with me. Cleveland.
Last 1 o'clock game is Kansas City at New England. Kansas City is favored by 8.5. Over under is 37.
Jeez.
Yeah, lock that in. Kansas City.
Oh, the game that was originally on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Kansas City.
The Chiefs
right.
just barely lost to the Bills last Sunday. The finals.
Good old Siri. Love it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Siri.
Yeah, Siri. Siri must have heard me.
Yeah.
Confirmed it. Just confirmed it.
Start of the 4 o'clock games. Commanders at
Kansas
the
City.
Rams. Rams are favored by 6.5. Over under is 50.5.
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, I'll go with the Rams as well.
Next game is 49ers at Arizona. 49ers are favored by 12.5. Over under is 47.5.
49ers.
Cardinals cover.
Arizona.
This is a cover. They're not winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Jets. Yeah, these are all just covers.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to be ridiculous here. Cardinals outright.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
He's back for the 1 seed.
There goes the mortgage. There goes the mortgage.
Like,
I love it.
The upset of the century.
What am I picking there? The prediction or the spread? What are we doing there?
You can do whatever.
Oh,
Spread,
all right.
prediction.
All right. Well, I'm not interested in that, so I'll just I'll go with the Niners straight up.
All right. Last 4 o'clock game is Dallas at Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by 1.5. Over under is 50.5.
Buffalo lock.
Buffalo.
Dallas.
Buffalo.
I'll lock the over.
Dallas in overtime.
Buffalo.
Fuck Dallas.
We know.
Buffalo. The Bills win a tight one.
We know.
Yeah, I agree with Noah as
basket.
well. I agree with
Jesus
Noah as
Christ.
well. Fuck Dallas as well, and give me Buffalo.
Jesus Christ, you guys might be fucking related.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You two might. We're about to do Ancestry. Ancestry.com. Let's see what the connection is here.
I love it. Sunday night game,
Oh,
Ravens
Buffalo.
at Jacksonville. Ravens are favored by 3.5. Over under is 42.5. In
Jacksonville?
Yep.
Ravens are fucking awesome defensively. Pretty much because
Trevor
they have
Lawrence
two
have
great
a
line-
leg.
Maybe because
I don't know. They
You
have two great linebackers.
Tommy?
Two great linebackers. Kyle
Is that
Hamilton's
how that
out.
works with defense?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that how that
Two-
works?
He's pretty
Two
Pat
great
Queen's
ones
good.
too. Two fucking since
I wonder if any of them were available for the Eagles.
Oh yeah, Patrick Queen was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was.
you know, the other guy was too.
So was Roquan Smith at the same time.
Yeah,
Yep.
Or not the same time, but he was also available trade.
he was. Give me Jacksonville's a home dog.
Yeah, 3.5.
Give me them the cover. I'll take the spread. I think the Ravens probably win it, but I think it's like a field goal game.
That 30 hookers get me. I'm
big
taking
fan
that
of the
hooker.
Big
Yeah.
fan of the hook.
Give me Jacksonville.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Ravens are going to win this one as well.
That's all the games.
All right. Great
All
shit. Great
Yep.
show, boys. We got a big one coming up Monday night. Get excited for it. Let's bounce back.
Real quick,
All
I
right.
got my TD parlay.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Go ahead.
David Montgomery,
Mhm.
Travis Kelce, Brees Hall, and Mike Evans.
All
All right.
Mhm.
It's a good one. All right. We thank everybody. We thank
Yeah,
Royal
thank you.
Billiards, sponsor for the show. Premier Game Room Store to Delaware Valley. They got everything. Everything to expand the man cave, give you all the gaming experience you want. They got tons of shit. So much stuff. So go check them out. 515 Bethlehem Pike. Call them RPA. Visit them on the web, royalbilliard.com. Or Blake, Noah, they're brothers. We just found this out tonight. Greg, Ryan, Ralphie, I'm Tom. We love you all. We appreciate the million comments, the super chats, everything you guys bring to the table. Like I say all the time, you drive the show. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. We enjoy you. We appreciate you. Let's go.